Welcome back everyone to Simply Legal. Wow, I always say wow because I love the momentum at which the channel is growing up with. We are at 2,039 subscribers at the time of producing this video. And the sky's the limit. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We'll keep moving. Let's keep doing baby steps because this channel is our baby. And you guys are my tribe. Well, today's video, we're going to talk about the grounds of divorce. What is divorce? Have you ever been there and you have a spouse, a cheating spouse? You have everything set, you guys got married, you have children, you have property, and your spouse decides to cheat on you or get another spouse. Well, today I'm here to talk to you about the grounds of divorce. What is divorce? Many of us know what divorce is. We just say, I'm going to divorce you, but we don't know what the legal side talks about it. And I'm here to provide solutions for you, just as Simply Legal likes to do it for you. So, let's go. Hey everyone, it's time to think like a divorce lawyer. Well, in Uganda we have a number of issues that take place. I've handled many issues like land issues, intellectual properties, but I rarely dwell on family issues. Today I'm here to talk to you about divorce, the grounds of divorce, types of separation, judicial separation, and the likes. However, I will shift the grounds of divorce towards the end of the video so that you stick around and watch the entire video because you need all of this legal information. So therefore, what is divorce? We have many definitions of divorce, but the best one I like comes from the Black's Law Dictionary, something us lawyers like to have on our tables in terms of judicial definitions. So, Black's Law Dictionary defines divorce as the legal separation of a man and a woman by court judgment or court's decision to entirely dissolve a marriage. This comes in because we have types of marriages. We have Mohammedan marriages, civil marriages, church marriages. That's an entirely different topic for another day. However, in terms of marriages, you can also decide to mutually dissolve a marriage. Divorce comes in because many times people disagree. There's things like adultery, things like desertion of a marriage, many issues like we all know. Many of us are going through these kinds of issues. Marital issues and home issues are the biggest. So where does all divorce derive all of this legal power from? We have the Divorce Act of Uganda, Cap 249 of the Constitution. All of these acts are given different caps. I've never really explained it properly, but at least now you can understand where the divorce law comes from. The grounds of divorce are stipulated under Section 4 of the Divorce Act. I will still not go there until the end of the video. I wanted to take you through all the legal steps under which a court is going to first take before granting you divorce, because they will not just automatically grant you divorce. Like I've said on this channel, before you even go to court, the judge is going to ask you, did you try mediation? Did you try arbitration? Did you try this? Did you try that? Because even it's not in the best interest of the court to separate a marriage, because they will say what God brings together no one shall separate. So the court has to also follow God's laws, or the Almighty Allah, whoever you subscribe to in terms of religion. So therefore, what steps does someone take before going for divorce? We have things like mutual separation or separation agreement. If you find that things in a marriage have not happened or have not happened as you had expected them, you have a rocky marriage, you can agree on separation. This separation, the court or officers of the court, judicial officers like your lawyers want to see, can you guys get back together? Can you reconcile? Then if you guys cannot do that, then you can file for what's called judicial separation. So let's continue with judicial separation. I said that divorce is also stipulated under the Divorce Act of Uganda, Cap 249. Judicial separation comes in where, like I had explained earlier, if you guys have decided to separate mutually, then the court is trying to see whether you people can get back together, whether you can reconcile, and the divorce is then removed. But there are also issues of judicial separation. When you guys you've said that no, we can no longer stay together, the love in the marriage has died, this person was so cruel to me, this person deserted me, this person did this. We're going to look at the grounds as the video continues moving. Judicial separation is stipulated under Section 14 of the Divorce Act of Uganda, Cap 249. It's the process by which a couple intending to divorce separates. Let me simplify it for you. Intends to separate, and this is for a period of about 2 years. So by the time you move to a period of 2 years, they really want to see, is this your last chance for you guys to reconcile, or you want to completely dissolve the marriage? So most couples actually go for judicial separation, and then there comes in issues of property and wills. That will be a video for another time. This video is specific for grounds of divorce. So judicial separation is usually for a period of maximum 2 years and onwards. So even in a space of 2 years, they want to see, can you really reconcile, or it's done. Now, once that is done, I would like to first tell you about the grounds, or rather the kind of court or the jurisdiction under which you can hear a divorce petition. That brings me to my next point. You can only move a divorce suit under a petition. Many times I've talked about lawsuits, cases, but we also have what are called petitions. And like in my previous video of how to win or succeed in a lawsuit, I will put the link in the description. When you are handling a divorce petition, you, the person who is divorcing your partner, you become a petitioner, and the person divorcing becomes a respondent. So it's not like plaintiff or defendant. Well, it is, but for legal terms and purposes, I divorcing my wife, I'm going to become the petitioner, and the other one is going to become the respondent. So Section 3 of the Divorce Act, Cap 249, gives us the jurisdiction under which you can hear a divorce petition. It's in the normal court system I was explained to you. The magistrate court, grade 1, magistrate 2, chief magistrate's court, and also the high court in cases where it has gone beyond the magistrate's court. Most people actually want to go to the high court and petition immediately, but you need to start from the magistrate's courts. So what are the grounds under which you can file for judicial separation under Section 14? It's things of it's grounds like cruelty, adultery, desertion. So I wanted to do this video because many people are cheating on one another, many people are committing adultery, people are doing many of the grounds under which I'm going to stipulate immediately. So the fact that we've hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel, I feel like we're now kicking it up a notch, and I would like to now handle even the realest and the realest of issues on this channel. Now for the major issues concerning this video, the grounds of divorce. The grounds of divorce are stipulated under Section 4 of the Divorce Act of Uganda, Cap 249. But before that, there was a case that clearly brings out Section 4 of the Divorce Act. That's the case of Kazibe versus Kaziwe. It was stated that all the grounds under Section 4 of the Divorce Act apply to both men and women. I would like you to get exactly what I'm saying, because it's going to bring us to our next point. The Divorce Act came about in the earlier years, even during the colonial times, but it was a bit segregative when it came to husband and wife, because to give different grounds. A husband will be divorced on these grounds, so then a wife will be divorced on these grounds. So it was a bit unfavorable. So the fact that it was a bit unfavorable, Section 4, Clause 1, I'll first take you back to the old laws. Section 4, subsection 1, brought about the fact that a husband who is petitioning for a divorce can divorce his wife on grounds that the wife has changed her religion and also committed adultery. So then it also there was also subsection 2 of Section 4, which also brought about something that the woman petitioning for a divorce can also divorce a man in terms of bestiality, cruelty, and the other grounds that I'm going to mention. So it brought about an inequality, and in accordance with Article 31 of the Constitution, it states that a man and a woman who have entered a marriage have equal rights in the marriage. So therefore, FIDA Uganda, which is an organization championed by women, and 5 others sued the Attorney General because they wanted to change this particular Section 4 of the Constitution, of the Divorce Act of Uganda. So therefore, the position was changed, meaning the grounds of divorce ended up stating that the grounds of divorce are, number one, if your partner is guilty of adultery, number one. Then bestiality. If your partner has engaged in, let me just explain bestiality. If your partner has engaged in sexual acts of sleeping with animals, sleeping with an unnatural being like a man and a woman. Then another ground of divorce is desertion. If your partner has been in the home, you already established home and everything, and your partner has now deserted the home, meaning they have left the home, they're no longer there or living close by, then that means that you're no longer a home. So that is also a ground under which you can divorce your marital partner. Then engaging in acts of sodomy and especially homosexual acts. We have many times seen movies where, or even in reality, we have seen it many times where a man and woman can be married, but the man also prefers sleeping with other men. Then that is also a ground for divorce. Or the woman also has a girlfriend and she prefers lesbian kind of acts. That is also a ground for divorce. Then we also have cruelty, meaning this mainly applies to the men, but even women are doing it these days. You find that the man keeps beating the woman every time he comes home. He keeps shaming her in front of the children, beating her, and all the likes. So that is another ground under which you can bring a divorce petition. So that in a nutshell is or are the grounds of divorce. Let's just go through them again. Cruelty, adultery, coupled with cruelty also, adulterous acts like cheating on your partner. We also have desertion of the home. We also have engaging in acts of unnatural sexual acts like bestiality. We also have sodomy and the likes. Now, in case there's anything I'm going to not mention, I'm going to put it also in the comment section so that you guys do not miss anything. So, before you leave the video, do not click off. I would like to also bring to your attention that there's also nullity of a marriage. I've mentioned all of the steps. There was separation by agreement, judicial separation. All of these are forms of ending a marriage. Then there's also a divorce, but finally there's also a nullity of a marriage. What does nullity or void mean? Meaning that something was not in existence in the beginning. So we have nullity of a marriage, or being a void of a marriage. So I've explained in simple terms. Us lawyers have all of these huge legal terms: nullity, a void. So we have something called void ab initio in law. Basically, it means something was not in existence in the beginning, or it was wrong to begin with. Nullity of a marriage is looked at under Section 12 of the Divorce Act of Uganda, Cap 249. Nullity is basically a person in a marriage, a partner, either the man or the woman, is going to petition to court to annul the marriage, meaning going to tell court that, you know what, I'm ending this marriage because it was not there to begin with. What are the grounds under which? So Section 12 gives us its grounds, such as impotence from the beginning of the marriage, meaning if by the time they married, the partner did not know that this partner, either the man or the woman, was barren or impotent, then they can end the marriage. Then we also have issues of the person you contracted the marriage with, because a marriage is also a contract. The person you did the contract with was a lunatic to begin with, meaning the man or the woman could have noticed that, oh, I married a lunatic. A lunatic in simple terms is an idiot, or someone who is not in their full senses like a normal person. And then finally, as some of the grounds of nullity of a marriage, that the consent of the person who is petitioning against the other person, or who is petitioning to annul the marriage, consented to being married to this person either by fraud or by force or undue influence, meaning they did not enter the marriage out of their own will or out of their own free will. As we wrap up this video, let me just also talk about what happens to the children of either one of these processes, either judicial separation, divorce, separation, the normal separation by agreement, annulment of a marriage, and the likes. Section 29 of the Divorce Act talks about what happens to those children, and it's very simple. The court is going to look at many things, and it will be up to the court or the judge's discretion, meaning that a judge will be the person to decide. These children are now a consequence. They're now collateral damage of this marriage. It's unfortunate that this marriage was annulled, the parents have divorced or they have judicially separated, and it's now permanent. So the court will consider things like their education, how young the children are. That will also bring me to section 3, subsection 3 of the Children's Amendment Act of Uganda, Cap 3. Before the court grants things like custody, because of course by the time of divorce there are things of custody, so the court will handle the children in accordance to how young the children are, their education background, their emotional state, the amount of money each parent has. So they'll look at all of that. So thank you so much for listening to me. I wanted to handle this issue vehemently and physically and mentally, everything concerning that issues of grounds of divorce. So thank you so much for listening to me. Guys, please, I'm doing a Q&A in the next video. So please, in the comment section, send me all of your video topics that you want me to talk about. Send me the burning questions you've always wanted to send me on the channel. I would like to handle all of your questions, because every time we reach a milestone of 3,000, 4,000 subscribers, 5,000, we're going to be doing a Q&A. That's part of the series of Simply Legal. So thank you so much for listening to me. And if there's anything you want me to talk about in a future video, please hit the comment section. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow me on my social media platforms, Terry Kahuma, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat. Please hit me up, DM me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.